In 2007, Stephen King said it was the best adaptation of his work ever made. The director cried when he saw the ending, and test audiences walked out in silence, not because it was bad, but because it was too real. This is not a monster movie. The Mist is a survival experiment, and every single character fails it. Today, we find out why. Welcome back to Reelcapsule, where we dissect the 1% of cinema that actually leaves a mark. Today, we are going into The Mist. 2007, Frank Darabont, Stephen King. A small town in Maine, a supermarket, a fog that should not exist. On the surface, a creature feature. Underneath, one of the most brutal studies of human psychology ever put on screen. By the end of this video, you will never look at a crowd the same way again. Let's descend. The film opens after a storm. David Drayton, an artist, heads to the supermarket with his son and neighbor. Simple, normal, familiar. But Darabont is already setting the psychological trap. Notice what the supermarket is. It is not just a location. It is a cross-section of society. Blue-collar workers, professionals, tourists, a soldier, a preacher. Every class, every type. And then the mist rolls in. Someone runs in bleeding. Says something is in the mist. Something killed his friend. And here is the first test. Do you believe him? Half the store does. Half does not. And that split, right there in the first 15 minutes, is the entire movie. The Mist does not create the conflict. It reveals it. The divisions were always there. The fog just removed the social contract that was keeping them polite. Now let's talk about Mrs. Carmody, because the tentacles and the spiders are terrifying. But she's the most dangerous thing in that supermarket. She starts the film as background noise. The town eccentric, the religious fanatic people avoid. But watch what happens as the hours pass. When fear increases, her audience grows. When someone dies, she has an explanation. When the military fail, she has a scapegoat. This is not fiction. This is a documented psychological pattern called terror management theory. When humans are confronted with their own mortality, when death feels random and senseless, we search desperately for meaning, for order, for someone who has answers. Carmody offers all three. God is punishing us. Blood sacrifice will end this. The sinners must die first. Insane? Yes. But to a group of people watching their friends get eaten by invisible creatures in a fog, she sounds like the only person with a plan. By day 2, she has an army. Darabont shows us how cults are born, not from stupidity, but from terror. Give people enough fear and enough time, and they will follow anyone who speaks with certainty. Anyone. Every death in the mist is a test result. A group volunteers to go next door through the mist to get medical supplies. They go. Most do not come back. What does this tell us? That altruism has a cost, and watching that cost destroys the willingness to try again. We learn that the mist came from a secret military experiment, Project Arrowhead, that ripped open a dimensional portal. The soldier who helped build it tries to confess, to apologize. Carmody's followers hang him. What does this tell us? A society in fear cannot process guilt. It needs a sacrifice, not an apology. At the very beginning, a woman leaves the supermarket alone to find her children. Everyone calls her crazy, suicidal. She walks into the mist. At the end of the film, we see she survived. What does this tell us? The monster outside was never the greatest threat. The monster inside was. We have to talk about the ending. If you have not seen this film, pause now, watch it, come back. I'm serious. This ending needs to hit you cold. David, his son, and 3 survivors escape the supermarket. They drive into the mist with no destination. They pass destroyed towns, military vehicles, no signs of life. They run out of petrol. There is no rescue coming. There are 4 people in the car and 4 bullets left in the gun. David makes the decision no parent should ever make. He shoots his son. He shoots the others. Then he gets out of the car, screaming, waiting for the creatures to take him too. And then the mist clears. Military vehicles roll past, soldiers with flamethrowers, survivors being rescued. His son, the people he just killed, they were minutes away from rescue. Stephen King's original novella ends ambiguously. They just keep driving. Darabont chose this ending instead. King wept when he saw it, called it even bleaker than his own version. Because here is what it means. David did not lose hope because the situation was hopeless. He lost hope because hope ran out 5 minutes too early. And that is the most human horror of all. Not the monsters, not the fog, the 5 minutes. The Mist came out in 2007. In the years since, we have watched real versions of this experiment play out. Pandemics, lockdowns, people trapped together with limited information, rising fear, and competing voices telling them who to blame. Every time, the pattern repeats. The reasonable people argue. The fearful people find their carmody. And the ones who stay quiet, just trying to survive, get caught in the middle. Darabont did not predict the future. He just understood something that history has always shown us. When the mist rolls in, the supermarket is everywhere. The Mist is rated 72% on Rotten Tomatoes. That number is a crime. This is a film about what we become when safety disappears, about how quickly reason collapses under fear, about how the most dangerous person in a crisis is not the one with claws, it is the one with a microphone and absolute certainty. If this video left a mark, that is the point. Subscribe to Reelcapsule, new descent every week. And if you are brave enough, watch The Mist tonight. Then come back and tell me, which character were you?